Hey everybody, welcome back to Woodward Trail Music Speaks podcast, where we fight depression with the power of music. I'm your handicapped host, James Cox, and I have another interview today, and we're just still killing it with the awesome interviews, but this time we're talking to Michael Strange, which is an awesome last name. He,
It
he,
wasn't always it wasn't
oh,
always an awesome life.
okay, so that's not your actual name.
No, it's my legal name, my God-given name. But it,
Okay.
it it just wasn't always cool.
Yeah, now it is. Now it's so awesome.
Like
Yeah,
grade school, it really
yeah,
wasn't.
yeah.
High school, then it was cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
when I got in the army, it was suddenly not cool again.
Really? In the
Yeah.
army?
Well, they just made fun of me a lot.
Oh,
You
is
know,
that
I,
strange? Yeah.
it was like I was like back in grade school. But then I got out and then I got into the real world again. And then now I'm older and well, suddenly I'm cool again. It's cool again.
Uh,
So yeah, it's quite a journey.
yeah. Well, that's a very unusual name, and I love an unusual. My last name is Cox. And I did- and I never really got fun of it in school, but I just like, okay, well, it's just the last name. Who cares? But
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
there's
So
always there's many ways you can spin that around to make it cool.
yeah,
So
yeah.
you know, we won't go there though. But
No, exactly. Yeah, yeah. But to tell people how it got connected was through Caden Gordon. Caden Gordon sends me a lot of great musicians, and you're one of his clients. I imagine.
yeah, I got set through Caden Gordon. Caden
Yeah.
Gordon is a wonderful human being.
Yes, he is.
He puts up with a lot with me.
He puts up with enough. I
Yeah,
give him some hard times, but I love the guy, and he's such an amazing dude. But yeah. Okay. So you said you were in the army, correct?
yes,
Okay, so I do want to thank you for your service, sir. Because my dad now is a retired colonel, so I'm right there with you. Being a military brat has its privileges and it's sometimes not fun, and I'm sure you're used to that both. Um,
yeah. Both my parents were officers. So,
yeah,
so yeah, interesting, and very different lifestyle than most of the people that I know now.
yeah,
However, growing up in that environment, we all just were kind of like, well, hey, this is how normal people grow up, right?
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
But
but
it's
see, I was born. Okay, so my dad was in the Air Force right out of the college. So this is all I know. The military life. There wasn't ever a time where I lived like a quote normal life. I've always known the military life, and I'm sure it's the same with you. Your parents being military. Um, but there's like a yin and yang. The good part of military is we get to travel place to place, country to country. And I lived in the Philippines and stuff like that. But the bad thing is we moved every 4 to 6 years, so I had to get a
yeah,
new.
sometimes sooner.
Yeah, you're right. And me and my sister always had to leave friends behind, make new friends all the time. So that
Yeah,
kind of sucked. And was like the same thing for you?
absolutely. And
Yeah,
just like you said, it was me and my sister, you know, just uh, going along for the ride,
yeah,
picking up, making new friends, seeing new countries and getting used to things, learning different languages, and then going to a school in another country, coming back home in another country,
yeah,
having to go to school into another country. And I say having to, and people are like, "Oh my gosh, you're so privileged." And what? Yeah, I guess so. But at the same time, you are leaving pets behind that are dear to your heart. You're leaving
yeah.
friends behind that are dear to your heart. So there is a yin yang. There's a double edged sword, and um, but as you grow up, you realize that the experience that you have is pretty unique.
Yeah.
So we all celebrate that.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories that I could tell and you could tell that probably make other people like all in awe, you know. Because
Oh
I've been
yeah,
through, I mean, living in the Philippines in the 80s was a time to be alive, you know. So that was fun but scary because we had guards surrounding our house, 24/7.
oh
So that
yeah.
was fun talking to them, and and I learned some Tagalog, but I know nothing about it now. But I'm sure, but I'm pretty sure you picked up a few like languages along your way too, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Learned how to make lumpia.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. But now you are based in Texas, right?
yeah. I'm in Austin, Texas, which
Austin,
is
Texas.
it's the best place to be in
Yeah.
Texas. So
Yeah.
it's
Well,
pretty
I
cool.
love I love you for saying that because I was born in Austin, Texas. So hell yeah, brother.
Hey,
Yeah.
yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. 1980, I was born in Austin, Texas, and I've never been back. I've always wanted to go back, but maybe sometime soon, and I can meet you, So that'd be
Yeah,
cool. Yeah. But you started performing with this musical journey at age 20 in cafes, garages, and private events. Um, did you always know? Okay, growing up as
a
a
little bit earlier. I
okay,
started doing that a little bit earlier, but yeah,
okay. So growing up in the military, did you always know that you wanted to be a musician first? Because
oh
because
yeah,
as with military kids, they never know what they want to be because they've seen this, they go over here, I mean, I've been wanted, I wanted to be like a lot of things, but was it like music was your love at first sight or like.
yeah. I mean, it was always, I always knew that I had to take care of responsibilities, do different things, and I always knew that I wanted to pursue it and keep writing songs and play out. I didn't quite have um, an understanding of like quite how you do it or go about it.
Yeah.
Um, that all had to be learned because nobody gives you a book and says, "Hey, study this one. It's called How to Be a Successful Rock Star."
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to write that book yourself. So yeah,
Yeah, there's no like, well, I guess you can be a rock star, depending on like levels of like numbers, but there's no like you can't really predict, the lifestyle that a rock star will lead, especially, different lifestyles,
yeah.
It's weird.
It was always more important for me to just continue to write, and the writing aspect of it has always been the real important part, and that's kind of the glue that holds me together
Right.
as a musician. So
Yeah,
so I always kind of stick to focusing on that rather than the others.
exactly, exactly. Well, while we're in the military, I'm talking about, this since you were like a military brat, because I'm a brat too, so I can I can safely call you that,
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
You earn respect.
Yes, you and I are brats. So, which cultural influences from that upbringing in the military have surfaced more profoundly in your songwriting?
Cruel influences.
Yeah. Like no,
Um,
no, no, like what cultural influences? Since you've lived in so many places.
I don't quite understand the question.
Like did a certain country or city or state influence your songwriting abilities?
Um, I, I don't really know about that. I think spending a lot of time alone as a child, which was my case because I lived in neighborhoods sometimes where I didn't have friends, and all most of my friends were on the air base or somewhere else. So just spending a lot of time with myself gave me a lot of time to write and reflect. Um, So that was pretty cool. Also, the fact, and I guess to if it has anything to do with your question, being away from the United States and being away from what I knew up until I was in third grade, um, and being in another country, everything kind of changes, and you know, where I was in my mind as a child, I was missing what felt like home to me, my grandparents, a farm, um, daily routines of, smelling chicken shit and walking my cat through and making sure that he didn't steal one of the chickens. Otherwise, my grandfather would kill him. Just
Right.
little things like that. That was home for me. That was comforting, and missing that made me long and kind of I guess influenced me to reach out in writing to explore my imagination. That's really all I had. So yeah,
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. Um, so before we started recording, we talked about your two singles right now.
yeah,
Only One and Black and Blue. Black and Blue, for all people who are listening, will release this morning at 12 a.m. It is July 4th, so congratulations on the release. And then you had one called Only One, which released on February 14th, 2025.
yep. Valentine's Day,
Valentine's Day, yeah, yeah.
one for all the lovers.
There you go. Yes. Go, yeah. Well, I was okay. So I listened to Black and Blue only one time. And it's extremely good, but extremely to me it was extremely sad too.
Yeah,
Um,
it's definitely a heartbreaker.
yes, my vibe is more like the only one song because it's more happier. It's got that cool vibe to it. It's got
Yeah,
that. You know. Uh,
I appreciate it.
yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate it.
So, so is it hard for you to write songs that are so on the opposite ends of each other? Like you got this extremely happy song one, and then you got Black and Blue, which is extremely melodically like sadder.
I don't really think. I mean, honestly, don't think about it too much when I'm exploring a song or a new song or just a different song or I'm getting down to just getting in it, feeling the rhythm and focusing on writing. I don't really pay too much attention to what it's going to compare to like the other one. My biggest focus is to get in it and start letting it tell me how it's supposed to be written.
Mm.
Um, so in the case of Black and Blue, yeah, it's slow, it's somber, and it's not an upbeat song. But I really had to get in there and get those emotions out and get in that place to deliver what was honestly the feeling and the vibration, and that turns out to be, yeah, it's pretty sad. But I also wanted to, my attempt with Black and Blue was to make something that was you know not poppy. I wanted it to be pretty traditional country as far as what I interpret it as traditional country, and that goes back to my roots of listening to Johnny Cash and Hank Williams. So, and when I actually wrote the Black and Blue song, I was really trying to keep it simple, like a Johnny Cash cadence or a Johnny Cash. So, in fact, when I first started singing it, I honestly started, singing it like sitting all alone. It's so lonely when she's not there. Wondering if she's lonely or if she cares. I was really exploring that, and I had to come to a point where I was like, that's not that's not me.
That's not me, man.
But I'm
Right.
stepping into Johnny Cash's vibe, and then I really had to deliver it as Michael Strange, and sometimes that's difficult to do, but I did that. So yeah, and and who knows what the tempo of the next release. Actually, I know what the tempo. The
Well,
next release is going to be a little more a lot more upbeat.
upbeat. Okay.
Yeah. So
So, did both songs kind of derive from your military background? Because as a child, I was alone practically a lot too. You know, just as you were. So did those feelings derive from the military background, or like did they come from past experiences in your life? You know.
I mean, everything has really come through. I mean, only one was written about my high school sweetheart that I actually dated while I was in high school
Yeah.
in Madrid, Spain, at Torrejon American Air Force Base. Um, so yeah, I mean, I really have uh, over the years. I read about stuff from my past, um, relationships. Um, yeah, I mean, I can't help bringing my life into my music, and I really try to do that and stay true to the story. And there are times when um, I wonder if that's entertaining to someone.
Yeah.
I really do, because I really do want to entertain people. But being true as a writer, I just write what I experience. So yeah,
For me, it's really entertaining because it tells me about where you came from and what you're going to do in the future, and you're bringing back storytelling in country, which is I think it's a lost art now because a lot of these new country artists are not storytelling like Johnny Cash, like Glenn Jennings, you know, and I think it's very powerful that you're bringing that back, you know.
I'm trying to. Yeah, I'm trying to. I really am. Um, I don't know if I'll ever quite be as good as Johnny Cash.
Oh, come on,
I,
man.
I do. I do really. I really do. I really do. I really do try to.
Yeah,
I really do try to give them a lot of credit for what they do, because
yeah,
they are the greats.
yeah. I was watching Walk the Line the other day, and I still think it's a fantastic movie for anybody who hasn't seen it. You know, with Joaquin Phoenix. You know,
Yeah,
I just think that tells more of a story than we thought and he went through. You know, so you know,
yeah. I mean, what an incredible, interesting, person.
yeah,
Aside from his art, what an incredible just human being. So
definitely, definitely, definitely.
that's our heroes. That's our rock and roll heroes,
Oh
boy.
yeah, yeah, and I'm sure you know these new young guns are gonna claim that now their heroes is like uh, Lil Wayne and Megan Thee Stallion. I'm like, come on, you need better.
Who's who's that?
Lil Wayne is is a rapper. Megan Thee
Oh,
Stallion is a rapper. You know, these new guys are growing up with their artists that they're looking up to, just like we grew up with Johnny Cash and Ray Jennings and Willie Nelson. You know, so I just think it's funny how generations can look up to people even though that the new generation music is not that good as it was like when we were growing up, you know.
yeah, and I'm sure every generation says that, and
Yeah, oh yeah,
and everyone's totally welcome to their opinion.
yeah.
And I have no argument with whatever, but
No,
all I know is that I think I was blessed to be exposed to some of the roots American country that my parents liked at the time, and I'm just grateful that I was exposed to that. So yeah,
absolutely. Yes, 100%. I agree with you on that one. But so you created legends like Casey Bullock, Sarah Evans, and they as mentors.
yeah.
Um, What's a surprising piece of advice from one of them that they still informs your writing or performance today?
Uh, like advice that they've given to me.
Yeah,
Um, Sarah never was very very preachy. But she was very inspiring in the fact that, at the time, and this is before she went to Nashville and stuff.
Yeah.
This is way before Suds in the Bucket. Um,
Okay. Way
she,
before. Okay. Yeah.
yeah, she was very humble. She was very talented, but she was extremely humble in that um, she played drums for me on my gigs when Cully Hingston couldn't make it, and she would practice and she would get in the garage and we would practice and she'd play and I'd say, man, Sara, man, you are just I don't know if most people know Sara Evans is dynamite drummer.
Really.
Yeah, she's
Wow.
super talented. But that really left a big impression on me about how humble she was because she could have blown me out of the water anytime,
Right.
and you know, and she would do some songs, sing some songs with Patsy Cline covers, which she does really well, and she would blow me out of the water. But she took the time to just sit back and play the drums. That means a lot.
The good
So
old days, right?
what's that?
I said that those are good old days, right?
Yeah, it's good old days, and I try to keep those days alive too. If someone needs a backup singer or if someone needs, someone just to play rhythm guitar, I'm always happy to help too. I don't always have to be the star.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. So,
In fact, I enjoy right now working on songwriting with a artist named Marin Lane. I think you'll see a lot more of her in the future. Um, and we've been getting together and doing some writing and going through some ideas. So it's nice to be able. Sometimes it's nice to be able to just help someone else out and explore the fun. Just the fun of it, the fun of collaborating and making music with someone.
it's interesting because I always wanted to find out when. Okay, so for you, you said you worked with a lot of people. Okay, so I want to know. So, what is your approach to structuring a narrative song, like a 3 4 minute song, as opposed to working with somebody?
Um, so okay, one more time. I'm sorry. I'm just having trouble understanding what the
Yeah,
question.
yeah, that's okay. So like say you're writing a song by yourself, right?
Right.
What is your structure of that songline look like as opposed to like working with me? Like is it longer? Is it more easier? I mean, like how is the structure going for you?
So I mean, honestly, like I've gotten together with people that write great songs and wasn't able to write anything. I've gotten together with with people that uh, tend to work alone, and sometimes the process doesn't work. And sometimes I can get with someone and something magical happens, and it's always different. It depends. People work a lot differently. As far as myself, I really take a lot of inspiration from just the inner voice that's inside of me and the music and the vibration that's going on. And then I try to capture that. And sometimes I find that feeling is telling the story or is the beginning of the story. And then I have to really get honest and ask myself, where am I at in the story? Am I at a point where I can actually be honest?
Right.
To give the listener what they deserve.
Yeah.
And then I have to go through that process. So that's a real internal, personal process for me. Um, and sometimes that hook just comes out, or that feeling just comes out, and it tells exactly what's going on. Kind of like when you've got a song running through your head, you know, and you start to say, "Man, why do I have this song stuck in my head?" and it happens to be about what's going on in your life,
Right, right.
you know, uh, the I think the inner soul kind of speaks to you and speaks to your conscious in that way. So that's my personal thing. And sometimes, and now that I'm older, I'm able to actually express these kind of things to other songwriters that I'm working with. Like, hey, here's a good place to start. Or here's well, we talk about that, that inner voice, and we ask those hard questions. I ask those hard questions nowadays. Like, hey, do you hear the melody in your head? Can you hear that song playing in your head? And sometimes they'll say, no, I can't hear it. I really just I'm kind of going off my instrument. And then sometimes like Mara Lane, I said, hey, can you hear the music in your head? Can you hear the whole band playing, the whole orchestra just playing? And she's like, yeah, I can hear that. I'm
Yeah,
like, yeah, that's important to know,
right.
when you're writing with someone. I don't know if that sounds crazy to other people, but that's
No,
just the
that's a,
that's honest, that's just the honest way that I can express it.
that's a perfectly me because I know exactly what you're saying. Because my music to me is like no other. Like sometimes I even can't explain it. That's why this podcast is called "When Words Fail, Music Speaks," because that's what it
Yeah,
does.
amen.
So yeah, yeah,
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And it's sometimes it's difficult and sometimes it's a blessing at the
yeah.
same time to take what you're feeling and put it,
It's
you
extremely
know,
hard. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Because I know a lot of people go through a lot of stuff, and it's hard for them to get out what they want to tell you. But if they tell you to listen to a song, you could actually understand them in ways that they can't. Words fail. Boom. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So that's
I like it.
awesome.
I
Yeah.
like it a
Yeah.
lot.
Um. I was going to ask you something and then totally forgot. But I'll remind. I'm 45. I'm old. It's the brain's not as active anymore. But oh yes, yeah. Okay, so I really like your songs because you base it on your past experience. And I can tell you that other people are always eager to hear your songs, even though I don't know them, because people can tell when a song is BS or not. They
Oh
can
yeah.
tell when the artist been in the 5 minutes or like if it's part of their life. So I think that because you said you're not sure if people receive your music as you think it should, and I'm to tell you that they are, without actually meaning them because like I said, people can tell when a song is just crap or not, and I think your songs are wonderfully so put together.
Wow, man. I really appreciate that, man. I really do. I really, really do. Because, uh, I tell myself that I when I'm writing that I'm not doing it based on what everyone thinks, and I think that's the only way you can
Yes.
going when you're writing. But at the end of the day, when you're done with it, you know, you can't help hoping that it really reaches someone and they can feel what you feel. So
Yeah.
uh, yeah,
Yeah, music very powerful. But okay, so you're not only a musician, you're exploring recording for radio, TV, and film, correct?
well, yeah. I'm really gearing. I've got a lot of stuff that I would like to see in films and some of the more cinematic pieces that I've written. I do write a lot of pieces that don't have lyrics that are just music. And I do have a lot of stuff that, yeah, I would like to see in what musician wouldn't, right?
Right.
I want to see myself on a movie score. I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, who doesn't want to see that one day? So,
Yeah.
um, okay, so let's intertwine music and movies together. Since you're doing both of them right now, which is fantastic. Um, so have you ever written a song specifically imagining it's part of a scene or a character that you would play in the movie?
That is a great question. Yes,
Okay.
absolutely. In fact, me and myself and Maren Lane were discussing that at lengths about how important that is, and you know, I even had to reference some songs. You know, do you see how this is a movie scene, or do you see how Elvis Costello is talking to having a conversation in this scene when he's talking about the angels want to wear my red shoes? You know, can you see the deal with Faust? You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, it, so yeah, absolutely, I do. And the older I get, the more I'm able to kind of understand that.
Yeah.
As far as writing the scene,
Yes.
being in the movie, being in the scene, and more importantly, inviting the listener to be in the movie with me. Like I don't know, The Year of the Cat by Al Stewart. Uh, you
Yeah.
know, it's like wow. I mean, he just totally writes. I don't know if you're familiar with the song. For those of you in Radio Land that are familiar with the song, you know how it starts. He just guides you into that scene. Um, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. I really try to be conscious of that too when I'm writing. So
Well, who's to say we will watch you in the next big screen movie and your song is playing in the background? That would be awesome to see, you know.
I just want my music in the background. That's all.
There you go. We'll get there, buddy. We'll get there. We'll
You
get
even
there.
have to see my face. So
Right. Yeah. A lot of people think I have a face for radio. I'm like, yes, I'm doing my job really, really, really well. You know. Um, yeah. I thought about acting, but it's like, yeah, I don't want to. I'm too old now. Who knows? But it's all right. I can interview awesome people like you.
yeah, and you do it really well
Yeah.
too, man.
Thank you,
You've
sir.
asked some really, really, really good questions. I've been very impressed. You
Thank
know,
you, sir. Thank
yeah,
you.
you're getting into some territory that I think is very interesting for other listeners, whether they're musicians or not.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is for everybody. So I do have three more quick questions for you.
Okay,
Now these are gonna probably be the hardest questions, but depending on the way well, it's easy for some, hard for others. So we're gonna see what they are to you. Um, First question is, okay, so let's go back to Michael Strange's when he was 17, 18, 19, growing up in the military family, okay?
yeah,
We're looking in your room, we're looking at the walls, okay? Are
okay.
we seeing any musical posters? And if so, who are we looking at?
Oh wow! So there's
Yeah.
only two that I had,
Okay.
two major ones, and that was a big poster of Elvis.
I love
Uh,
those, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what can I say, man? The king.
Yeah.
So
Man, the king is
the other
right.
one was a one that I kept for quite a long time, and that was a life-size poster of Michael Jackson that I put on the back of my door, and it
Yeah.
filled up the entire door.
Oh wow.
Yeah, in the tuxedo with the glove and
Yeah.
doing the
The Billie
imitating
Jean. Yeah.
imitating
Yeah.
Elvis's pose where he does this tiptoes.
Yeah. Yep. I think you did that in Billie Jean music video, if I'm not mistaken, too.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Those were my two major posters. Another one another one I had was a poster board that I had stolen. My friends and I had all stole a big poster board uh, off. And it was a promotion one that they had kind of stuck to the sides of the train stations, but it was huge, and it was the Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me tour of 1987. I think it was 87.
Yeah.
Um, from The Cure, and
Okay, okay, yeah.
that was in Madrid, Spain.
Ooh, yeah.
And we took that, and it was just so sacred. We actually went and all saw the concert. It was just a one of the first concert experiences I've ever had.
Mm.
Um, and it was really dynamite. It was just
Oh,
a great concert. So yeah, that's what my room looked like, and a
yeah.
bunch of comic books.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Yeah. So you had the King of Rock, the King of Pop, and the Cure. Great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, those three. That's a trio, man. I love that trio to death. Yeah, awesome, awesome. Okay, so the next listen is probably gonna be depending on those three Elvis, Michael Jackson, and the Cure, but we'll see. Okay, so we're gonna do like a Mount Rushmore of your favorite bands or artists. You got four of them. Who's your
Four.
favorite four? Yeah, we're gonna do like a Mount Rushmore of your favorite four.
Okay, top four, local or international?
Anything. Music artists, bands, you name it. This is yours.
I got to say, Reckless Kelly is one of my favorite Austin locals.
Okay.
Dale Watson, also another one who's an Austin local.
Yeah.
Um, the Derailers, I'm not sure if you heard of them, but they
I
are
have not.
fantastic. I mean, they are just just a really really incredible band. Another one is Chris Wall,
Correct. Okay.
and Chris
Yeah.
Wall is a country singer that God bless him, did one of the best albums he's ever done before he passed,
Mm.
and I still play it
Yeah.
every uh, at least one song I play from it every day. I really like that album.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah, well, I'm
what
gonna
else
have
is,
to check out Chris Wall and the Derailers. Yeah, because I've never heard of them before.
you've got to check?
But I'm always looking for new music, So yes,
Oh man, do
definitely gonna
yourself
check
a
it
favor.
out.
Do yourself a favor. The Derailers, just I mean, it's so. I mean, it takes you right back to 50s rock and roll, a little bit of rockabilly, a
Yeah,
whole lot of country flavor, and man, they can play. I mean,
yeah,
they're just no joke. As far as you know, relatable national people that everyone knows, and I don't mean that to degrade anything about
yeah, yeah.
Austin, but not everyone's from Austin. Not everyone's heard of those Austin legends.
Mhm.
Um, but Elvis has always been number one, for me as far as inspiring. The way he sang and just the way he took his job as a performer. I just as a little child, I really just it hit me so hard that it's it's he's on everything that I do
Yeah,
in some way.
yeah.
So his impression is Van Morrison is also a very important artist for me,
I think
and
he's a genius. Yeah,
he's an
yeah,
absolute genius. Him and Elvis have a way of really, you know, there's a sensation where the hair stands up on your arms
hmm
and up your spine, and I still, I play the same songs over and over every day.
yeah,
I still get that tingle, and I'm just like, man, what is that? You know,
yeah, yeah.
Van Morrison's an incredible artist.
Mm.
Um, Another one, I guess. So I got four, huh?
Four. Yep.
Well, that's really tough.
Mm.
Um, you know, Dwight Yoakam made a big impression on me
Yes,
in
yes.
the '80s, and in the '80s, of course, I was listening to. I mean, I was still listening to the old standards. I was still listening to Elvis, um, and all the stuff that I was really my roots. But I was getting into, the '80s music. But when I heard guitars and Cadillacs, I
Great.
mean,
Oh,
I was brought back to country, in a big way, and I was like, man, this is incredible. Um, and then, got to see him live, and even got to meet him, and then
really? Wow.
I got to meet him a couple times. Opened up for him and Willie Nelson at the Verizon Wireless Amphitheater.
Wow.
and that was another really
Yeah, big moment,
big moment. And what a
Yeah,
gentleman,
yeah.
what a gentleman. The guy was just a real nice guy. Uh, I snuck back into Lukenbach, and one of my buddies, put his arm around right over him, and he knew I wanted his signature.
Mm.
And Dwight had not even gotten his helmet off, and my buddy, pulled him over to the side, and he said, "Hey, Dwight, I want you to meet one of my friends. His name's Michael Strange." And I thought I thought cousin Lyle was going to get smacked or
Right,
something.
yeah, yeah.
So, but uh, Dwight said, "Oh yeah, where is he?" And he goes, "Right here." And he said, "Hey, Michael." I said, "Hey, man." I said, "It's really nice to meet you." He goes, "Yeah, nice to meet you." And I said, "Hey, man," and people were swarming at this point.
Right, right.
And I said, "Hey, I know I only got a few seconds, but can I get your autograph?" And he goes, "Yeah, man." He goes, "But do you have a pen?" And I said, "No, I don't have a pen." He goes, "Well, go find one because you see all those people." I was like, "Yeah, I see him." He goes, "Well, go find one, and I'll sign your Lukenbach ticket." And I was like, "Okay, cool."
Mm.
So yeah, he got swarmed. All these
Oh
girls,
yeah, yeah,
all these people from the industry, and they're all
yeah.
hugging and shaking hands. And uh, uh, so I went and I found a pen, and I looked at the swarm. And Dwight's a pretty tall guy, but
Pretty
the
do
swarm,
right, yeah, yeah.
I could see the top of his head. See all these people around, and I thought, man, I'm not going to be that rude. This is done. I'm At least I got to meet him, shake his hand, and
Yeah.
you know, and I see this big hand. And he raises his hand way up, and he says, "Hey, Michael, did you find that pen?"
Wow. Holy crap.
And
Yeah.
my jaw dropped, and
And you're like, yes, I'm here, I'm coming,
I was like,
right?
yes, yes, I got the pen.
Yeah,
Everyone cleared a little path, and he put my ticket on his jeans on his leg
yeah.
and swiped out his signature. And he goes, "Hey, you rock and roll, man." I was like, "Hey, rock and roll, man."
Hell
And
yeah.
you know, yeah. So if he wasn't my hero before, he
He
definitely
is now, right?
he was definitely right there when. So yeah, I got to mention him as one of my fourth. Um, and just a great singer and just a great writer, great
Yeah.
picker. I
And he's a
mean,
great actor too.
and a great actor.
Sleep Blade.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
love that movie, Sleep Blade. And Crank. I don't know if you've heard of Crank with Jason Statham, but he played a good role in that one too. Yeah.
yeah, just incredible. As far as the fourth goes,
Yeah.
man, that's a tough one. Um, I really think, I really do have to go back and say, um, Willie Nelson has just been one of
Yeah.
those guys that has always been around, and I look up to him very much as a writer, performer. Um, yeah, I mean, he's
Yeah.
just one of the
I mean,
greats.
that's all. I mean, you really can't, you know, say much about Willie because Willie's such a great dude. I mean, he's legendary.
Yeah, and he's just got such a great, unique uh, approach to songs and playing his guitar. You know, it's a tough one for the fourth, because there's
Yeah, yeah.
Johnny,
It is, yeah,
Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson.
yeah.
I mean,
Right,
man,
yeah, there's so many great other artists that you could put in the final four, but it's so hard, just like you said.
yeah. Oh, and Little Richard.
Yeah. Little Richard, Toby Checker, Big Bopper, all just amazing artists, who can really define the favorite four of all time. I I just like to ask that, to all my guests,
Yeah, no, thank you,
because I'm
thank
always,
you.
yeah, yeah,
No, I appreciate that. I really
yeah,
do.
yeah. So we got one more question then, and then we'll let you go. Okay, so this is gonna be my hardest question to date. Okay,
Okay.
is there one song, album, or artist, okay, that you can listen to but you can't tell me or your wife or anybody else how it makes you feel deep inside your soul.
Oh yeah, there's
Okay.
definitely, yeah, there's definitely the unexplained. I try to sometimes.
Well, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
The only way I can explain it to people or like, hey, do you ever get that thing where all the hair on your body stands up,
Yes. Yes. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
That's the best
Yeah.
way I can try
Yeah.
to relate it. But yeah.
And that's the best feeling because when you hear songs that do that, you're like, oh my God, I'm in this moment, you know.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah.
believe I'm in this moment feeling goosebumps all up and down my yeah. It's amazing,
And,
man.
and it's quite a phenomenon because when you think about it, what in the world else does that to you?
Right. Right.
Love, love can do it, but what else? I don't know of anything else, but
Yeah.
an emotion, a feeling in music can do that to us. It's incredible.
I 100% agree with you. So. Okay, so we're gonna give you some shout outs here. You could go to Michael Strange's website at bigrecords.world/Michael Strange. I'll leave it in the description. He's on Instagram and Facebook under the Michael Strange, and
Correct.
he has a TikTok account, Michael period Strange 062. Did I get that right?
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Oh, well, I mean,
Okay.
that could be you. I don't know if that's really you or another person, but yeah, I looked it up and this is Michael dot Strange 062.
Okay.
So I don't know. I'll link it in the description and you can tell me if that's you or not, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. And
Yeah.
then, and then, if you get on Instagram, yeah, it's the Michael Strange, TheMichaelStrange. On Facebook, it's just Michael Strange
Okay.
From Austin, Texas. Um, yeah, I appreciate,
Yeah.
anyone who wants to say hello and reach out, or any other fellow musicians who wants to reach out and have a question. Um, I'm always willing to chat.
Awesome, awesome. Well, we do love you here at When Word Show Music Speaks, and we beg you to come back anytime you want to. And you got we're buddies on Instagram, so feel free to message me anytime you want to, man. I just love talking to you.
Okay, I love you talk. Hey, man, it's been really, really great. I really appreciate you having me, and hopefully we'll get together sometime soon around the next release, which is going
Yes.
to be September 1st.
Oh yeah, come back. We would love to have you.
Absolutely, man.
All right.
Rock on. Happy 4th of July,
Yes. Yes.
and be
And
cool.
and for everybody, yeah, right. And for everybody else listening, download his song Black and Blue, which just released today, July 4th. And also only one came out earlier, and that's a fantastic song. They're both great. But they're both
Thanks,
awesome.
brother.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I appreciate it, man. Rock and
Sure.
roll.
Thank you so much. And
Okay.
with that said, everybody, thank you for listening to the episode. And always remember when words fail, music speaks. Bye, guys.